What's up, guys? Welcome back to Dudes Ascend, where we talk about how to elevate ourselves as men. My name is Hamilton, and it has been a while. Man, I know it's been a while since I posted a video. I want to first apologize to anybody who has been following along with the 21-day challenge and been like, where are the videos? I've had some things going on. Firstly, I've been moving all this week. My wife and I are moving out of our apartment. You can see like all of our things packed up here. You could see and hear probably how empty my apartment is. We've been in the process of moving all week, and there's just a lot of things involved with getting our car registration done and emissions testing and changing the address, getting the storage pod lined up, getting the movers booked, selling things, packing everything. It's a lot. And also, I had two like consecutive relapses this week. I don't know what if it's like the added stress of moving or just, my life has kind of been turned upside down, as probably has most people's right now, which is part of my motivation for wanting to make this channel. I know that with everything going on in the world, this whole like pandemic thing and quarantining, a lot of people being out of work, staying at home most of the time, this pornography addiction really thrives in that kind of environment, which is stressful, isolated, staying at home most of the time. Like, that's where this thing really gets trickiest to try to deal with. And my motivation is to try to help people with that and also to help myself. So I relapsed twice this week, and I'll just say that I didn't know what to do with this channel as far as I know what slips are like, and for me, it just throws me into like this really hard depression. Really been overwhelmed with feelings of just like very low self-worth, like just feeling worthless, like super worthless, super hopeless as far as like, man, I don't know if I can even do this. Like, what's the point of even trying? And it's just been intensified by knowing that like I've had this channel that I'm trying to help other people. I'm trying to give advice, and it's like, who am I to give advice? I'm like, how can I even give advice to people or try to help someone when I can't even make it halfway through my own challenge? All kinds of thoughts like that, just like really hammering me, man, this week. And it's been rough. It's hard for me to, it makes it hard on my wife and I's relationship when I'm in that low of a place. It's very hard for us to get along. I get really irritable. I don't want to be around anybody. I'm just, this self-loathing thing is just not a good thing. And that's the insidious thing about porn addiction, is that when you're trying to recover, if you've had this addiction for a while, relapse is almost inevitable. And when relapse happens, it makes you feel so shitty, like the hangover effect, this like chemical crash that happens in your brain after you get that extreme rush of dopamine, and then you crash after orgasm. Orgasm feels great for that brief second, but then there is a major like chemical crash, basically like same in the way that like caffeine or sugar highs, there's a crash afterwards. And orgasm is the same way, and especially when there's all this shame and stuff tied up into it, coming from, something that's embarrassing, something that you've told yourself over and over again that you're not gonna do, and then you've done it again, and here you are in this shame and embarrassment of it, and the self, just feeling worthless about it. All of those feelings, you feel so low that then it like makes you compulsively want to reach out for porn again and escape those feelings of feeling really shitty by just lusting out and porn again, and then you feel even worse. And so it becomes this very vicious cycle, right? So I know how hard it is to pull yourself out of a relapse cycle when you've fallen in. And that was Tuesday and Wednesday for me was just really low, and I've basically been trying to pull myself out of that since then. Feeling very brain foggy, just not really present. Like, feels like my brain just hasn't been working very good past couple of days. I'm just kind of like one step at a time getting this move done, but not feeling at my full self. So I'm on day 5 now personally, and all this time I've been wondering, like, what am I gonna do with this channel? I wanted to have this 21-day challenge series to where I can give a tip each day, but it doesn't feel right to me to be giving a tip and checking in for like day 11 if I'm not really on day 11 myself, if I haven't made it that far. So I really didn't know what to do, and I didn't know if I was going to continue with the channel at all. But what I've kind of decided to do is that, I think this is not really all about me being like a master at this, or being, even having great advice to give. I think there can be a lot of value in just showing the process, and in a really honest and vulnerable way, and just kind of like going along the journey and just sort of talking about it in an open way to sort of raise awareness on this thing. And maybe that's more relatable, the struggle, more so than the trying to be some kind of like great source of advice or wisdom. We're just trying to elevate ourselves together, myself included. And I know that I've got a long way to go. So right now I'm on day 5, and my plan is to just kind of check in like this and talk about where I've been at and where I'm at each day until I get back to day 11, if I can get back to day 11. And then I will continue with the 21-day series and be posting those on that playlist of the 21-day NoFap challenge. So I got to get there first. And, for me, making these videos helps to motivate me, and hopefully it helps other people. So I want to please again say, if you are watching, please comment, please subscribe, so that I know that other people are out there looking for help with this, working on this, and we can support each other. You know what I mean? It just helps me to know that other people are out there. And, of course I had those voices in my head of like, this week of like, nobody's watching this shit anyway, but I did get at least a couple comments this week, and that kind of helped me. Even just knowing that one person is watching helps. It really does. So please subscribe, please comment, check in with me where you're at, ask me questions. I'm willing to be open and vulnerable, and that will help me know what you guys want to hear me talk about. So until then, I'll just be checking in and try to hopefully get back to day 11, and then I'll continue with those tips and stuff. But I don't feel like it's even right for me to like try to give advice right now until I can get there. Like I've said, I have been working on this for years, and I have made a lot of progress. And I know it's progress, not perfection, like they say, but the main thing is like where I'm at right now is like coming out of this relapse cycle. Really there's somebody that I've met in 12 steps who always says like, don't pump the drug, just don't pump the drug. And that drug is dopamine for us. So anytime you look at anything that's arousing, and really I've decided also, another big thing that I've sort of gotten clarity on the past couple of days is that I think I need to practice like full abstinence with my wife right now too. so that I can allow myself to go through the withdrawal from that dopamine, because the same, like any kind of sexual arousal right now sort of triggers that like addictive process. And for an addict, you don't have like the okay, enough is enough meter. It's always more and more and more. So I think it's important, and I have gone back and forth on this, whether abstinence is necessary or helpful or should be tried while quitting porn or not. I think for me right now, I need to. And I'm not saying that that's a must for everybody, but for me, that's what I'm going to be trying, and to allow myself that full detox. And that also means, you know, not peeking at anything, not cheating, not looking at any kind of social media that's arousing that can lead to porn, because it's a very slippery slope. As soon as that little dopamine button gets pressed, that addict inside wants more and more and more. And it's very, you know, the nature of an addiction is like you can't stop that with your willpower. So really the best way to stay on track is to just not even go there, you know, totally cut it off, essentially. Don't cut it. You know, but avoid, you know, even thoughts that pop into your mind. There's another friend of mine that says don't color it in, don't color in the images, right? So like if you imagine flipping through a coloring book, right, and you're just images pop into your brain, that's the way thoughts go through our mind. If some kind of sexual image or a memory comes up, just don't color it in. You know, don't take the time to start coloring it in, make it more vivid. Just turn the page, right? And we have the ability to do that. And the more that we can just turn the page, keep going, look the other way, you know, not feeding it. It's really, as the battle is won or lost in that first thought, right? So that's my check-in for today. And I'm really just, if that sounds like advice, I'm really just giving advice to myself, you know, because that's how I always end up slipping, is thinking that like, oh, just that one little picture won't hurt, or, you know, I have a memory pop in, oh, I'd like to I'll just check that one little, you know, one little video. It's not even really porn, you know, it's fine. And it never works that way. It always leads to a relapse, whether it's that day or the next day. It starts the whole cycle, and that cycle leads to really feeling like shit. So don't even enter the cycle. Stay on track, stay living in that outer circle like I talked about on day 3. The things that make you feel fulfilled, good, and happy, and strong. That's where you should be spending your time and energy. So yeah, man, that's my video for today. And I'll just be checking in with you guys along the way. We'll be on the road tomorrow, but I should be able to do a quick check-in video at least. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Peace.